Hi, Love's Work. Just wanted to talk about ruminating on your kinky desires. By rumination, I mean think about them, sit with them, and see, what you find interesting about them. Some of the kinks that I've heard of, because I've worked in the adult industry, so I've worked out with toys and things like that, and couples, and working with people's desires and what they're interested in doing, is that people have a tendency to first and foremost kind of almost sneak in with the, I'm a regular everyday person, but I like this. And, that reaction is perfectly normal. Because sexuality is a place of vulnerability, absolutely. So you want to be able to, approach it in a way that feels comfortable for you. One of the things that's really important is to focus on when you first have a desire and your immediate reaction is, oh, I don't know if I should do that, ask yourself, is it a societal thing you got going on there, or is it a personal thing you have going on there? Like, be able to separate the two. Because, if it's something, like, oh, I really like rough sex and, the kind of animalistic, lust stuff, it really gets me off. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just not for everybody, and you don't want to, in an act, just immediately start doing it to someone and never having discussed it before, because it might freak them out. Might very well be that they're into it or that they could get into it, but you just need a moment to just say, like, hey, I like this, and if you think that you might be interested in it, let's try it out, and let's go slow with it. Let's not just full tilt in. You want to go ahead and coax your way into the scenario that you're interested in. If it's, some of the other ones that I'm not mentioning in this video, not because they aren't as valid, but because they have a tendency to shock. Things like, bloodletting, or, some of the more extreme things in terms of, whips and chains, things like that. That's the, I can't even say dark side of kink, because that's not dark. What it is another variation on finding an alternative to the simple act of coitus, of that being the end all of what we think sex should be, as opposed to finding alternate ways of intimacy, because that's what we're looking for: real bonding, real intimacy, real trust. So the thing about thinking on your desires is find out where the core, desire lies. If it's a fantasy, about force or things like that, that's fine too. People have that fantasy more often than you think. But what's at the core of it, find that out for yourself, and find a partner again who's willing, and someone who you can trust, and more importantly, someone who has some self-control. This is with any of the scenarios. What's really important on both sides is that you all can manage to delve into it together, find out together what you're looking for, and at the same time be able to hold back and listen to the verbal and nonverbal feedback of your partner. For people who are getting approached about um, kinky stuff, I know it's a head rush. It's kind of like, whoa, this person's into what? And I want to who lick this, do what? That seems like, whoa. And sometimes it can be overwhelming, because the thing is that generally people are pleasers. You want to initially say, yeah, if I could do it, if I could find a way, I want to. But one of the things that you want to make sure of is that you're not doing it as an act of simple submission to someone, whether it's your, your wife or husband, long-term partner, just a short, intermediate relationship, or something even casual. What you want to make sure of is that when you go into deciding to say, hey, I'm going to do the act, that it's not out of a sense of, okay, let me go ahead and get over this and get into it, so that I can keep this person, or so that I can continue to know them. You want to think about the act itself. And if you're interested in doing it, then maybe you found someone who you can engage more intimately with than you ever knew before. And if it's inside of a long-term relationship, this is something that can bring your relationship to whole new heights. So, if you're a person who's found yourself being asked to do a kink and you haven't really been a kinky thought person or kinky sex person before, try to go into it if you can with an open mind. It's not easy for everyone. For some, it is. For others, it's not. But what's really important is to go into it and try to endure the discomfort that you're going to feel and see if you can come out on the other side with a new perspective and something for yourself that's also very valuable as well. And on that note, bye.